Okay, I was just going to say, he's excellent. When he comes to town, he wanted to.
Okay, folks, good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good.
Okay, are we all in the bridge mood?
Absolutely.
Of course. Okay, I like that. All right. So, what we're going to do, we have a lot to cover today. The first 4 weeks are very intense because there's a lot of material to cover. So the first thing we're going to do is everybody get their handouts. What do you open with the following hands? It's something that I asked everybody to do last week, so you could go ahead and do the quiz. So let's go ahead and please get your handout. We're going to go over these lightning quick. This is basically a quick review. Okay? Okay, number one, what do you open with the following hands? And by the way, folks, I want everyone in this room to participate, because I don't want to give the answers, and it helps me understand what you know and don't know. So on hand A, what would you open with hand A?
One club.
One club is correct. And the reason why you open one club is, again, when you look at a bridge hand, you always want to open a 5-card major. If you have 5 hearts or 5 spades, do you have 5 hearts or 5 spades? No. So by process of elimination, you have to open a club or a diamond. And the rule is, when you have to open a club or a diamond and both suits are only 3 long, you open the lower. Now when diamonds and clubs are 4 long, what do you open? One diamond. So when you have 4 diamonds and 4 clubs, you open a diamond. When you have 3 diamonds and 3 clubs, you open a club. Okay? Hand B, what do you open on hand B? Who said 1 heart? What are the requirements to open a heart? 5. Do you have 5?
Yes.
Put your dollar in the till. I'm just. Cheryl, you tell them. Okay. No. So again, notice I gave you a beautiful heart suit and a really bad spade suit. But what are the requirements to open a spade? How many do you have to have? 5. Okay. Notice I sort of teased you on that. Okay. So the answer is 1 spade. And how many points do you have to have? 13. So you need 13 points and 5 spades to open a spade. What do you open on hand C? Very good. God, what a sharp class. 1 no trump is correct. How many points do you have? 15. Do you have a balanced hand? Yes, balanced hand means you have no void, no singleton. So 1 no trump is correct. What's the range for a 1 no trump opener? 15 to 17. So whenever you have 15 to 17 points in your hand and a balanced hand, that you should open the hand 1 no trump. Now let me ask you a question. Do you have to have honors in every suit to open a no trump? No. So whenever you have 15 to 17 high card points in your hand, a combination of aces, kings, queens, and jacks. If you have 3 of the 4 suits stopped, that is fine. What you're communicating to your partner is, partner, in my hand I have 15 to 17 points in aces, kings, and queens, and jacks. I have at least 2 in every suit. I have a balanced hand, and I have 3 of the 4 suits stopped. So whenever you count your points, if you have more than 13 points and you have a range of 15 to 17 in a balanced hand, you want to open 1 no trump. What do you open with hand D? 1 diamond. And why do you open 1 diamond? When you have 4 diamonds and 4 clubs, what do you open? 1 diamond. Boy, you guys are amazing this morning. E, what do you open with E?
Pass.
Boy, and why do you pass? You only have 11 points. Okay? Count your points. Always count your points. If you don't have 13 points, then you have to what? Pass. You'll learn later on, and in fact, I think, I might give a couple examples today, that sometimes you don't have to have 13 high card points. My famous example is, if you have 13 spades, ace, king, queen, jack, 10, how many points do you have in your hand? Only 10. Ace, king, queen, jack is 10 points. But even Don would say 7 spades because he has all 13, even though he's missing how many points? 30. When you have long suits, remember, did I mention length points last week? So when you have a long suit, you may have 11 points in your hand, but if you have 6 or 7 spades, you added an extra length point, and that will come up to what? 13, and you can open hands. So it's not always high card points. You can count length points too. What do you open with hand F? 1 heart. Here you only have 11 points, but don't you have the 5th and 6th hearts count as what? A length point, so you could open that hand what? 1 heart. Notice the example I gave before leads into this example here. What do you open with G? I heard 1 heart and I heard 1 spade. So here, and I gave you this example because there's rules. Whenever you have 2 5-card suits, always open the higher rank suit first. Okay? So the answer is 1 spade. We'll talk about later on how to show both suits. We'll talk about that later on. So remember, when you have 2 5-card suits, you always open what? The higher rank suit when you have 13 points. What do you open with H? Again, because of the example I just mentioned above, when you have 2 suits, 5-card suits, you always open what? The higher rank. 1 spade says that you have at least 5 spades and what? 13 points. What do you open on I? 1 club is correct. You don't have a 5-card major, so by process of elimination, you open what? The longer minor. What do you do on J? 1 spade. Here you have 12 points, but you have 3 extra length points, so the hand's worth at least 13 points, and you open 1 spade. What do you do on K? 1 no trump is correct. You have a balanced hand, and you have 15 points. What do you do on L? I haven't heard the right answer yet, so 1 what? 1 no trump is correct. Count your points. You have how many? You have 11, 12, 15 points. You can have a 5-card suit. Do you have a balanced hand? Yes. So if you look on balanced hands, one of the handouts I gave you, you can have a 5-3-3-2 pattern. That's one of the examples I gave you. So you would open 1 no trump on L. And the last one, M, what do you open? 1 diamond is correct. You have 7, 11, you have 17, you have 20 points, and you open 1 diamond. We'll talk about later on, when you have big hands, how to show 20 points. All right, this was a quick review. Now we're going to cover a lot of material, and the information that I'm going to be giving you now is something that you'll need to know down the road, okay? Folks, I want you to really be patient with yourself. Don't try to memorize everything. Try to understand as much as you can. The more that you play each week, the more you see hands, visual aid, because the last 4 weeks I won't be talking. So I'll be giving a lot of hands for you to play and bid, and we'll discuss the hands after you play them. And that's because you need to see the cards themselves. But you're going to be learning a few new things today that are very important. Before I start, for those of you that were trying to download the video, okay, Brian put up some information. Because the video is unlisted, in other words, the only people that have access to the video are this class. Nobody else is authorized to have access to this video, only this class. So therefore, Brian's email is here. Here's his phone number. He will send you the link to access the video. There'll be 8 videos. So he'll send you the link. So if you want the link to the first video and this video and future videos, here's his email. It's bjh12572@gmail.com. And here's his phone number. So write down both. So if you want him to either send you or you want to call him, he'll send you the link, and you can access last week's video and today's video. And if you have any questions, you can call him as well. Okay?
Does he need to have a complete list of everybody's email in order to do that, Brian?
If you have an email list, I can.
Well, yeah, a lot of people signed it up last week, but there's a lot of people that haven't given me the email. So
Okay.
make sure that you sign up with me over at this desk and have your email listed so that you can get the link from Brian.
Or if you send me a text message, I can send you the link in a text right back to you. And if you click on the link in the messages on your phone, the video will pop up on YouTube and you can watch it directly on your
Okay.
device.
Has everybody written this information down? Everybody has? Okay. I can erase it? Okay. Okay, so did you notice that when we went over last week opening bids, did you notice that hearts and spades are higher ranked suits? They are called the major suits. Diamonds and clubs are your lower ranking suits. They are called the minor suits. And the reason why this is important, because in bridge, you get, when you bid a game, you get a bonus as far as points. Now we're going to briefly go over that. And the goal in bridge is 25 is the magic number in points. Remember, there's only 40 points in the bridge deck. 4 aces, 4 kings, 4 queens, and 4 jacks. So in bridge, the magic number is 25 for 3 no trump. In other words, the combined hands, your partner and you should have a total of at least 25 points of aces, kings, and queens and jacks between you to bid game. Okay? We're going to talk about how to achieve game in a minute. Okay? You need 26 to 28 points to bid game in 4 hearts. Okay? And you need 27 points to bid game in clubs or diamonds. Notice, you might say, well, why do you need more points? Notice, if you want to bid game in 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, what level do you have to bid game in? The 5 level, right? That means you must take 11 out of 13 tricks. That's why you need more points. You got to take more tricks. Notice in hearts and spades, you have to bid game at what level? The 4 level. Okay? That's why you need fewer points between both hands. Notice the easiest game to bid is at what? No trump. And no trump, you only have to take 9 out of 13 tricks. So you need 2 fewer tricks than clubs or diamonds. That's why you only need about 25 points to make game. So the reason why this is important, and here's a big tip for you, when you start understanding the game of bridge better, if you don't have 25 points or more between both hands, in bridge, you always stop at the lowest possible level. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. You're not going to understand it, but I'm just going to give you an example. 1 spade would say I have 5 spades and at least how many points? 13. Let's say your partner raises you to 2 spades. Okay? That means they're agreeing on what is trump. Spades. Your goal in bridge in any suit is to locate an 8-card fit. So once your partner bids a spade and they're showing 5, you want to have at least how many? 3 to agree on any suit. So once your partner bids 2 spades, you've already agreed on spades. And the beauty about learning this game is 2 spades sends a message to partner that they have at least 3 spades and a range of 6 to 9 points. So 6 to 9 and 13 is how much? Somewhere around 6 and 13 is 19. 9 and 13 is 22. So the range of points the partnership has is what? 19 to 22. Does everybody understand what I'm saying so far? So 19 to 22. They've agreed on spades. Is that enough points for game? No, because you need how many? 26 to 28. So therefore, you would stop at 2 spades. Bridge is a game of communication. One partner says one thing, the other partner says another. You're exchanging information across the table. At some point, when you both know what each other has, the number of points you have between you will determine how high or how low you go. Okay? So you may say, well, how do I know why is 4 hearts game? Good question. So remember we said that diamonds and clubs were called the minor suits? Remember that? They are worth 20 points. So 1 diamond is 20. If you bid 2 diamonds and you make it, you get 40. If you bid 3 diamonds and you make it, you get what? 60. If you bid 4 diamonds and you make it, you get what? 80. So your goal in bridge, in order to get game in any suit, you must score at least 100 points. In other words, your bid has to be at least 100 points to achieve game. So in order to achieve game in clubs or diamonds, to get to 100, how many diamonds or clubs do you have to bid? 5. 5 times 20 is what? 100. So to achieve game in a minor, you have to bid 5 clubs or 5 diamonds. Okay? So hearts and spades are the major suits. And hearts and spades are worth 30. So if you bid 1 heart or 1 spade, that's the final contract, you get 30. If you bid 2 hearts or 2 spades, you get what? 60. If you bid 3 hearts or 3 spades, you get how many? 90. So in order to bid game and achieve 100 points for the bonus, how many hearts and spades do you have to bid? 4. 4 times 30 is what? 120. That is why game in hearts and spades is what? At the 4 level. Okay? Finally, there's no trump. No trump's that oddball. Okay? So no trump, there is no trump suit. The first no trump is worth 40. Each subsequent no trump is worth 30 additionally. So for example, if you bid 1 no trump, that's worth what? 40. If you bid 2 no trump, that's worth what? 70. 40 plus 30 is what? 70. If you bid 3 no trump, it's 40 plus 30 plus 30 is 100. Therefore, 3 no trump would be game in no trump. Okay? This is important to know in bridge. You don't have to memorize this or remember it, but I'm just giving you a little understanding. In order to achieve game in bridge, you need to have at least 100 points. So these are the levels to achieve game. The higher the level, the more points you need between both hands. 3 no trump, you only have to take 9 out of 13 tricks. 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, you must take what? 11 out of 13 tricks. So therefore, more points are required when you have to bid at a higher level. Okay? This is important to know because when you learn the game of bridge, and you'll learn a little bit more each week, you'll understand, and a good tip that even people that have been playing bridge for years forget, when you don't have enough points for game, don't keep on bidding. That's why this is very important to know. Very important to know. Okay. One last thing before I go ahead and get into additional meat. When you and your partner agree on a suit, any suit, whether it's clubs, diamonds, hearts, or spades, again, as a refresher, what is the magic number of cards you and your partner need to hold in a suit? What's the goal to achieve? How many cards do you want you and your partner to have between you? 8. Remember that. 8 is the magic number. The advantage, now I want you to understand why you open a heart or a spade. Aren't you telling your partner right away you have 5? Right? So if they don't have 3 or more, they know that you don't belong in that suit initially. But if you have 3 or 4 right away, you're going to let them know that you have what? Support in that suit. So the goal in bridge is to locate between the partnership and 8-card fit. That's why when you open a heart or a spade, you promise 5, and your partner knows that, so therefore their next bid will be predicated on the cards they actually hold in their hand. And if they have spade support for you, they're going to right away let you know that they have spade support and tell you how many points they have as well. So now, let's talk. I'm going to go ahead and erase this. Okay. I'm going to add one more thing before we get into talking about no trump. So now that you know your goal in bridge is to locate an 8-card fit. Remember we talked about all the points I just showed on the board now? Okay, here's something very important, and you'll see it as we have examples coming up in the next few weeks. So I'll just put up an example. Let's say you bid a spade and your partner raises you to 2 spades. Do you have a fit? You've agreed on a suit, correct? Okay. Here's a little tip, and you're going to remember this for sure. Don't laugh. It's not fun. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Whenever, the only time in bridge that you can reevaluate your hand and add extra points to your hand is when you have what? A fit. In other words, whenever you agree on a suit is the only time in bridge you can reevaluate your hand. I'm going to give you an example to explain what I just said. And I'm going to put your partner's hand right across from him. Okay. The bidding has gone 1 spade, 2 spades. You'll find out 2 spades is I have at least 3 spades and 6 to 9 points. So it looks like there's 17 opposite 6, right? 17 opposite 6. Remember I just said a few minutes ago that the only time you can reevaluate your hand and add extra points to your hand is when you have a what? A fit. That's the only time. There is no exception, the only time. So what do I mean by reevaluating your hand? Okay. Once it goes 1 spade, 2 spades, does this person know that they have a fit in spades? Yes, because their partner raised them to 2 spades. So let's count this person's hand. 6, 7, 8. 8 and 8 is 16, 19. And a singleton is 22. So how did I get 22 points in this hand? Okay? You're going to learn, I'm going to write this on the board here, you're going to learn that whenever you agree on a suit, in other words, you agree on a suit, that if you have a void, what does a void mean? It means I have no hearts. You can add 5 extra points to your hand. If you have a singleton, do I only have 1 heart? You can add 3 extra points to your hand. And when you have a doubleton means you only have 2 in a suit. You can add 1 extra point to your hand. Now, why is this important? And this is only when you what? Agree on a suit. You know, you have an 8-card fit. That is the only time in bridge. That's why you have a handout. I gave you a handout. It's in your folder. It says when you have a void or a singleton or a doubleton and you agree on a suit, you can add extra points to your hand. Why is this important? 95% of bridge hands, when you have a fit, someone's going to have a singleton or a void or a doubleton. I mean, it's going to happen so much that if you don't, you have to know this, because most bridge hands are not flat. In other words, they're distributional. You can deal out 13 cards random. Someone's going to have only 1 in a suit or 2 in a suit, or sometimes none in a suit. But again, you don't add extra points to your hand unless you have a what? A fit. You agree in a suit. Don't add 5 points. If your partner opens a spade and you don't have any spades in your hand, you don't have a fit. Having none in your partner's suit is not an asset, it's a liability. Okay? So you have to agree, you have to have a fit with partner. So notice this hand. Once your partner bid 2 spades, we haven't talked about responses. Once partner bids 2 spades, you know you have a fit, right? In fact, you have how many spades in your hand? 6. You know your partner has 3, so you know you have at least 9 or more, at least 9 spades or more. So you have a what? A fit. You agree on a suit. Now, since you agree on a suit and you have a fit, now you can add extra points for having what? I have a singleton. How many extra points is that worth? 3. So I have 6, 7, 8. Remember those length points? 5 or longer, add an extra point. 6, 7, 8. 8 and 3 is 11. 11 and 8 is 19. 19 and 3 is 22. Is 22 plus 6 enough for game? How much is that? How much is 22 plus 6? 28. Does that fall in the range of 26 to 28? So then I would bid 4 spades, because I know that we have enough points for what? Game. Notice how length points and shortness, how you can reevaluate your hand, and that's only in a suit contract, not in a no trump contract. No trump, there's no trump suit. So when you agree on a suit, you can add extra points to your hand. Okay? All right, enough of that. I'm going to leave that up on the board. Now let's talk about, okay, this is a quick review here, real quick. What are the game bonuses? What are the game bonuses for no trump? If I want to be in game and no trump, what level do I have to be at? 3 no trump. What are the bonuses, game bonuses for hearts or spades? 4. And for clubs and diamonds? 5. Okay? Which game contract requires the fewest tricks? No trump. 3 no trump requires you take 9 out of what? 13 tricks. How many tricks are required? If you bid game in hearts and spades, how many tricks do I have to take? 10. 4 hearts or 4 spades, you have to take 10 tricks. Okay? How many tricks do I have to take if I bid clubs or diamonds? 11. 11 out of 13. Okay? Okay, hand evaluation. It's a quick review here. We're going to go lightning fast. How many points do I have in order to bid 3 no trump between both hands? 25 is correct. How many points counting evaluation? That means counting for doubleton, singleton. How many points do I have to have combined between both hands to bid game in hearts or spades? 26. That's correct, 26. And that you can count your singletons and your voids and your doubletons, because why? When you have a fit, that's the only time you can add extra points. And how many points do I have to have at least to bid game in clubs or diamonds? 29 or more. Again, is that 29 high card points, or can I count extra points for singletons, doubletons, and voids as part of my 29? Yes. For suit contracts, you can always add extra points for any suit. So it's not 29 high card points for clubs or diamonds. It's 29 points counting what? Singletons, voids, and doubletons. Okay.
I thought you said 27 to 29.
What you wrote
Oh, I'm sorry. It is 27 to 29. I'm sorry. 20, I meant 27. I'm sorry. So, but that 27 to 29 includes you're counting for singletons, doubletons, and voids. Okay. Okay. Everybody should have a board on the table. So here's what I want you to do. Turn your cards, go ahead and turn your cards face up so everybody can see all four hands. You can sit at a table, any table. Just pull up a chair and sit at any table. I think she's with over there, probably with. You want to pull up and give her a chair, Dick? Okay, everybody have their cards on the table right now? North is the dealer. What would North open on this hand? Folks, what would North open on this hand? Count your points, please. Count your points. One club is incorrect. Pardon me? Correct. You have 15 high card points. The ace of spades is 4. The jack of spades is 5. You have 7 points and hearts is 12. And the king of diamonds is 3 for 15. Is the hand a balanced hand? Yes. So therefore, you make the bid that best describes your hand. One no trump shows how many points? 15 to 17. Does everybody understand that? Okay. One club would have been your second choice, but you always want to make the best bid that describes your hand the first time. So you would bid one no trump. Okay. So let me put this on the board. You'll see how bridge works now. So one no trump shows what's the range of points for one no trump? 15 to 17. Now look at the south hand. How many points does south have? 7. Okay? So the range of points that south knows that they have between them, does everybody see how you get 22 to 24 points? Folks, I need for you to concentrate and look what I have on the board here. This is very important. Notice when you open a no trump, your partner only had 7. So your partner knows, not you, but your partner knows that your range of points is what? Somewhere between 22 and 24. How much is needed for game in no trump? 25. Do you have 25? So what do you think you do over one no trump? Pass. This is how the game of bridge is played. This is how the game of bridge is played. When a person opens, their partner knows that they don't have enough points for game. Notice that, let's change this here by 1 point. Let's just change it by 1 point. Let's say your partner had 8. Well, now your range of points would be what? So you may have game. It's on the slim side, but you may have game, right? So in bridge, there are 3 bids to start with. We're going to progress. You pass when you have 0 to 7. You pass because you know you don't have what? Enough points for game. If you have 8 to 9 points, you would bid 2 no trump. If you have 10 points or more, bridge is a very logical game. You're going to find out. And I'm just giving you some tips that are not in this lesson, by the way. I'm adding a few things to show you how you bid in bridge. So if you have 10 points or more, you bid 3 no trump. And the reason why you bid 3 no trump, what's 10 or more plus 15 to 17? Isn't that 25 plus? Isn't that in the game zone of 3 no trump? When you have 8 or 9, you have anywhere from 23 to 26 points. You follow what I'm saying? You may be in the game zone and you may not. Remember this word. All the games I direct, I use this word probably 1,000 times. Bridge is a game of communication. You tell your partner what you have, and they will always know what to do. I'm going to give you an example how bridge is communicated. You'll find out when you start playing. So let's say it goes 1 no trump, 2 no trump. And you don't have to remember it's 8 to 9. This is week 2 for those of you that have never played bridge before. I'm just giving you an example how bridge is played. So this person here, if they only have 15, what's 15 plus 8 or 9? Is that enough for a game? Therefore, they're going to pass because they know they don't have 25. Once their partner tells them what they have, they can look at their own hand and say, well, I only got 15. 15 plus 8 is 8 or 9 is 23 to 20. Oh, I got to pass. We don't have enough points for a game. But if you have 16 or 17 and partner has 8 or 9, okay, with 17 for sure you're going to go because 17 and 8 is 25, 17 and 9 is 26. The rule for 16 is if you have a good 16 with some 10s and 9s or you have a 5-card suit, you tend to bid 3 no trump. But the beauty of bridge is your bid is contingent on knowing what partner has told you. You're going to make a bid based on what partner has told you, and then you add the points. You always add the points to determine if you have enough points for game, or if you don't, you always what? Pass. That is how the game of bridge is played. You don't have to remember all this. I'm just trying to educate you and help you a little bit so as you're starting to bid and practice and play hands, you'll understand how bridge is played. Okay, so now we know that on board 5 that you are only going to play 1 no trump. Let's count our winners. Remember I told you how to count winners? Let's go ahead and compare the north and south hands. How many spade tricks does north and south have? If north is playing 1 no, how many tricks does north have in spades? 1, the ace of spades. How many tricks do they have in hearts? 2. How many tricks do they have in diamonds? 4. How do you get 1? King and 1 opposite ace, queen, jack, 4th. Remember, you're using both hands. When you count your winners in bridge, you use both hands. You use the dummy and your hand to count winners. How many tricks do you have in diamonds? 4. Does everybody see you have 4 tricks in diamonds? Counting the you go to the hand that has the most of, and then you say, how many winners can I take in that suit? Now, I'm going to give you an extra tip here. I like to give tips when we start going over things. We're going to put the diamond suit on the board for a second. Okay? So you have in diamonds king, 6 opposite what? Ace, queen, jack, what? 3. Okay. So how do you play this suit? Here's a mistake that probably 85% of the people when they first start playing bridge make this mistake. Okay? In bridge, wherever you win the last trick, that's where you have to play from. So if I win a trick over here, that means my next play has to come from what? This hand. Okay? And I'm going to teach you, this is something you should always do as you learn to play this game of bridge. Notice that you have 4 potential diamond tricks. If you make the mistake of playing any one of these 3 cards, I call those 3 mistakes, okay? If you make the mistake, watch what happens. Let's say you play the ace of diamonds. Then you play a diamond of the king. And let's say you have no way to get back to the good diamonds here. You've dwindled your 4 diamond tricks into how many? 2. You've lost 2 diamond tricks. So whenever, this sounds very simple, but it's a mistake that a lot of people make. I still see it today, as a matter of fact. Whenever you have an honor in a short suit, you want to play the honor in the short suit first. Then play to your diamonds here so you can cash the rest of them. Otherwise, you block the suit. Block the suit means you've won if you win a high diamond here and then play a diamond here, you have to find a way to get back to this hand to do what? Cash these 2 diamonds. So always play the honor from a short suit. Another example of this is if you have this hand, here, someone's going to say I have 2 6s. Okay, if you have this is your hand. This is the dummy. Okay, here you have 5 potential tricks to take, and no trump. Okay, 5. But if you make the mistake of playing this first, and then you play the 4, the 6, you've won the ace now here. Now you have to find a way to get back to this hand. If you have no entry, your 5 tricks have dwindled to how many? 2. So always, when you have a lot of winners to take in a suit, always play the honor from the short hand so you can get back to the hand that's got all the winners in that suit. Okay? It's a small tip, but sometimes we make mistakes and we play too fast and we realize, God, I thought I counted 5 winners in that suit. Now I only have 2. What did I do wrong? You know? Okay, that's just an example I want to give you. So we have 4 diamond tricks, 2 hearts, and 1 spade. How many tricks do we have? How many tricks do we have in 1 no trump? 7. 1 spade, 2 hearts, and 4 diamonds. Okay? What should East lead? What club should they lead? They should lead the top. Ace of clubs. This is one of the easier hands. They're going to play the ace of clubs, the king of clubs, the queen of jack of clubs. In other words, they can take how many club tricks? 4. After they take 4 club tricks, then they can lead the jack of hearts, and North is going to take 7 winners. They're going to quickly cash out, and they're in 1 no trump, making how many? 1. Does everybody see they can take 7 tricks? Okay? So I wanted to go over that with you. Real quickly, go ahead and turn the cards over. North, you're playing 1 no trump. East, go ahead and lead. And play the hand fairly quick, folks. We have a lot more to cover. That 100 points, if you have the total number of points you and your partner have will determine how high to bid. So if you have 25 points, that's why I said remember 25. There's only one number you have to remember in bridge, 25. You have that as a handout.
This is a really great handout.
She already gave it, it's in her folder, yeah. So, but I don't, so just remember when you have 25 points or more between you and your partner, an example, your partner has 13 and they open the bidding and you have 13. You have to be either in 3-no, 4 hearts or 4 spades or 5 clubs or 5 diamonds because you have enough points to achieve game. That is how bridge is played. Okay? So if you don't have, well, no, it's.
I don't see on here what's talking about the 25 anywhere.
It's right here, ma'am. You have the handout. It's right here. There it is, right here. It's right here.
Oh, that.
Yeah. Okay, folks. Before we go to the next hand, I'm going to make this real quick because we got so much to cover. Again, I'm going to repeat something that I mentioned earlier. Bridge is a partnership game. Okay? The scoring of bridge is very, very, very important to know. So when your partner has 13 points and opens the bidding, and you have 13 points across from your partner, you have at least 26 points between you. That means you want to be in a game. Now, we're not going to go over the scoring and everything else, the points, that's irrelevant. But what's important to know is every time you bid game, you get a bonus for being in game. And that's the beauty of bridge. You don't get a bonus unless you're in game. So the question is, what does it take to be in game? The examples I gave you before, and all you have to remember is one number in bridge. One number only, 25. That's the only number you have to remember in bridge, 25. So if you have 25 points or more between the partnership, you want to be in what? Game. You want to bid either 3 no, 4 hearts, 4 spades, 5 clubs, or 5 diamonds. And guess what? If you have 33 points or more between you, we're not going to cover that today, you get a slam bonus. That's a big bonus. You get a lot of points for scoring. That's the beauty of bridge. The more points you have between the partnership, the bigger the bonus you get for points, okay? So that's why it's important to know when you have less than 25, just remember 25. That's the only number you have to remember. You never want to be in game. Never want to be in game. You want to stop at the lowest possible level. You want to play 1 no, or 2 hearts, or 2 diamonds, or 2 spades, because if you don't have enough points for game, you want to stay at a very low level. You don't get a bonus for it, but you do get your points. If you bid 2 hearts and make 2, how much is hearts worth? 30. What's 2 times 30? 60. You'll get 60 points, okay? So the bottom line is, that's the beauty of bridge. Bridge is a game of what? Communication. That's all bridge is, communication. Your partner bids, you bid. You tell your partner what you have. Then your partner bids. And then both of you, based on exchanging information, and again, I don't want to go too deep into that because you'll get confused, but eventually when you both know how many points you each have, in the example I gave you with 1 no trump, 15 to 17, remember 1 no trump's 15 to 17? If you only have 7, what's 7 plus 15 to 17? Do you have 25? What do? Pass. That's how bridge is played. So the game bonus is important when you have 25 or more because you get a bonus score for it. And, like I mentioned before, do you need 26 high card points to bid game in hearts and spades or clubs and diamonds? Do you need the actual high card points that I put on the board? No. Remember we talked about that you can add extra points for a singleton, doubleton. You may actually only have 22 points between you in hearts, but one of you has a void, and they've added 5 points. The other person's got a singleton, and they've added 3 points. So you've both reevaluated your hand because you have a fit. You may only have 22 points, but your hands are worth what? 29, because you've added extra points. So you actually may be in 4 hearts or 4, and you make 5, you get a bonus score for it, but you only had 22 points between you. Because the only time you can reevaluate and add extra points to your hand is when you have a what? A fit. You agree on a suit. Does that help a little bit? Okay. All right. Let's go to number 6. Did I deal out? Yeah, I deal out the second. Okay. So let's look at hand number 6. The dealer is east. Okay? The dealer is east. How many points does east have? Yeah, put your cards face up. How many points does east have so everybody can see? 16, correct. So what would east open in this hand? 1 no. What does 1 no trump show? 15 to 17. Very good. Okay? South passes. Now you look at the west hand. How many points does west actually have? 9, right? 9. Don't they have 2 extra points for length points and hearts? How many points is their hand worth? You don't count that. Not yet, not yet. We're going to go, I'm covering that. You're right, but we're going to cover that in a second. But their hand right now is worth 9 points plus 2 points for the extra length in hearts. Do they have a fit anywhere? Look at the West hand. Do they have a fit anywhere? Yes. In order to open a no trump, didn't partner have to have at least 2 in every suit? Right? How many hearts do they have? No, how many hearts does the West have? 6. How many hearts do they know their partner has? No. How many hearts? They know they have at least how many? 2. You can't open a no trump unless you have at least 2 in every suit. So West knows they have a fit in what? Hearts. They have 6, and when their partner open a no trump, they know they have at least how many? 2. What's 6 plus 2? 8. Do they have a heart fit? Yes. You're always seeking an 8-card fit. So West knows as soon as their partner bid a no trump, West knows they have a 6-card heart fit. And they have 11 points, plus they have 2 doubletons. How much is a doubleton worth? Can't they add 2 more points to their hand for a doubleton? So isn't their hand worth 13 points? What's 13 plus 15 to 17? They're not playing the hand in no trump. They're going to be playing the hand in what? Hearts. So therefore, they know they have enough for what? Game. So what do they bid over 1 no trump? 4 hearts. Does everybody understand why you bid 4 hearts over 1 no trump? Does everybody understand why you bid 4 hearts? I want to make sure you guys understand this. Does everybody understand why you bid 4 hearts over 1 no trump? Everybody understands? Okay. So again, everything is about communication. This hand sounds hard. It's simple. You know why? Because once your partner opens a no trump, you know they have to have a balanced hand and they have 15 to 17 points. That's the definition of opening 1 no trump. West looks at their hand and says, you know what? I got 6 hearts. I know my partner who opened a no trump has to have 2. They could have 3. They could have 4, but they have at least how many? 2. So you already know that you have a fit in hearts. Now you add your extra length in hearts. You add your 2 doubletons, and you know that the hand reevaluates at 13 points. And 13 plus 15 to 17 is how much? 28 to 30. Is that fall in the range of 26 to 28? Yes. So you have enough points for game, and you do what? Bid it. Now here's a famous quote of mine. I'm the only person that always says this. He or she that knows goes. If you know you have game, you bid it. Once partner opens a no trump, the West hand says 4 hearts because they know they have a fit in hearts and they know they have enough points for game and they bid 4 hearts. That doesn't mean they're going to make 4 hearts or they might make 6. It means that's where they belong. Okay? In bridge, you don't worry about suits breaking bad. That'll happen. Some games go down because a suit will break 5-0. But the majority of the time, suits, if 85% of the time the game will make, you bid it. Those are good odds, by the way. So in bridge, you bid a game if you know you have the points for game and you know you have a what? A fit, then you bid your game. Okay? So you're going to play 4 hearts by West, So West would play 4 hearts. You're going to learn, folks, in intermediate and other advanced classes, you're going to learn some conventions such as Jacobi, but we're not covering that. We're going over the basics so you guys learn how to communicate. Okay? Okay, let's count our winners real quick. You're going to play it in a second. Let's count our winners. Okay, let's look at the East-West hands. West, look at West. Use your hand and the dummy. Always use your hand and the dummy to count tricks. How many spade tricks does East-West have between both hands? 1. How many heart tricks does East-West have between both hands? I heard 5 and 6. Who thinks it's 6? Who thinks it's 5? 100% 6. You got, look in the hand that's got the 6 cards and ask yourself, of those 6 trumps, how many can I take? Well, your partner has the ace queen, so you have the top 5 hearts. How many hearts are you missing, folks? 4. 13 from 9. You're only missing 4. You have the top 4 leads, so you have 6 tricks in the heart suit. How many diamond tricks do you have? 3. What's 1 plus 6 plus 3? 10. When you can count 10 winners and you're in 4 hearts, what's the first thing you always do when you can count that you have enough winners? What's the first thing you 100% do? Pull trump. Now that I've told you what to do, Wes, go ahead and play the hand. What would North, folks, what would North lead against 4 hearts? What would North lead? What would North lead against 4 hearts?
Fourth from the longest suit, fourth from the top.
Look at the hands. Look at North hand carefully. What would North lead from what would North lead? Jack of diamonds is correct. Top of a what? Sequence. Jack 10, isn't Jack 10-9 top of a sequence? Yes. So you lead the Jack of diamonds. All right, go ahead and play the hand. Hey, Yvonne, if your partner hasn't bid, you make the most logical lead. Now, if your partner bids a suit, then you can lead, of course, lead his suit. But right, since your partner hasn't bid, you lead top. You remember, there's only 2 leads in bridge that you lead. Only 2. Top of a sequence and 4th from longest and strongest. Top of a sequence is always priority. If you don't have top of a sequence, then you lead 4th from longest and strongest. That's right. If you have 10 tricks, what's the first thing you always play? Always take the trump out. And before you play 2, and make sure, and here's a little helpful, how many trumps did you and the dummy have between you? You had 6 and dummy had how many? 3. What's 6 plus 3? Okay, so that means 13 minus 9, how many are out? 4, right? So if she plays a heart and he plays a heart, there's 2 of the 4. How many are out now? 2. That's how you count your trumps. Once the trumps are all gone, then you stop playing trumps. Okay, so go ahead and turn your tricks over. You've won that. And you did good. You played from the board. That's good. Now you want to play the queen of hearts. Remember, always play from the short hand first. So go ahead and play the queen. She wants to play the queen of hearts. Yep, you play your lowest. Now she's going to pitch a diamond. So you were missing 2, now you're still missing 1. So there's 1 more out. I'm just trying to teach you how to count your trumps. Then they play the 2. He plays a 9. That's the last one. You want to take that. And now you can stop playing trumps. And you can play other suits. There you go. Very good. Are all the trumps out?
No.
Okay, then you want to get the last trump.
Play the 2.
And then once all the trumps are out, you play the 8. You got to be very. You have to watch what she plays.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. All right,
Yeah,
wait,
pay it-
sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay, so
You won that.
so there's still 1 out.
No, there isn't.
No.
Oh,
And
no,
let
I
me
got 1 and you got 1.
let me teach you something. Let me teach you something here. It's so simple. How many trumps did you begin? How many trumps did you have in your hand to begin with? You had
Before
6.
this?
Yeah, you had 6 to begin with.
Right.
Dummy had how many? 3. What's 6 plus 3?
9.
How many are out against you?
4.
Okay. So once they both play 1, you're down to what? 2. 4. You're missing 4. They each play 1. You're down to 2. The next time she plays 1, he doesn't. There's still 1 out because they. And then you play 1 more. This is the last one. That's how you count your trumps. Start with your start. How many are you missing? Always the remainder. You have to.
Count what's out, not
Correct.
what you
Correct.
have.
Well, you count what you have to start with, and then say 13 minus 9, because we have 9 between. I'm only missing 4. Keep track of those 4 only.
Okay, that's good.
That'll help you.
Yeah.
So, you play the 6, okay, that's okay. Even though you've seen your,
It doesn't make any difference, it really.
yeah.
No, I got 8.
Yeah, I think you got this trick right here is yours. Okay, there you go. Any spade. If you can't win it, just play a spade. There you go. And then you can just, when you have the only 2 trumps in your hand, you say, I have the last 2 trumps. There you go, and you made 4. Do you accept MasterCard or cash? And that is how you play a bridge hand. You made 10 tricks. And the reason why you play trumps to begin with, when you can count 10 winners, you don't want them trumping your winners. So that's why you get the trumps out when you can count 10 tricks.
And then you can always trump on us.
That's correct. That's correct. Okay, folks. I want to give you a little tip here. You know, when you play bridge, the memory bank sometimes, when you're trying to absorb a whole lot, can be very taxing on the mind when you're trying to play a bridge hand. I'm going to give you a tip to make it so easy for you to play a bridge hand. So the first thing to do when you play a suit contract is count how many trumps you have between you. I believe there were 6 trumps, but I declare had 6, and the dummy had ace, queen, and a small one. And you say, well, we have 6 trump tricks, and we have 9 trumps between you. How many trumps are we missing? 4. Okay. So count how many trumps you have between you, and then count how many trumps you're missing. We're missing 4. So when you play the trump suit, say, I'm missing 4, I'm missing 4. And then each opponent plays a trump. How many are you now missing? 2. 4 minus 2, because they each played 1. Then you play another trump, but both of them didn't follow. Only 1 followed. So you say 2, now I'm missing 1. Once you pull the last trump, then you stop playing trumps and go about your business with the other suits. But if you're trying to figure out, God, how many trumps did I have to begin with? How many trumps do they have? You only want to worry about how many trumps they have. Once you count how many trumps you and the dummy have, just say 13 minus 9, I'm missing 4 trumps. That's all you need to concentrate on. It's irrelevant how many trumps you began with and what dummy has. You count that to begin with. That's how you figure out that you're only missing 4, right? 6 and 3 is 9, and you're missing 4. That's the only thing you have to remember, and I'll tell you why. Because sometimes we pulled too many trumps, and we end up going down because we pulled too many trumps. Sometimes we don't pull enough trumps because we miscounted, and next thing they trump one of our winners, so instead of making 10, we make what? 9. So always count how many trumps you're missing and keep track of how many trumps have been played. 4 minus 2 is 2, minus only 1 is 1. I got to pull 1 more trumps, and then I'm going to stop playing trumps. That should help you when you're playing a hand because you're trying to absorb too much and trying to remember too much, and all you have to remember is how many trumps are out against you. Okay, so folks, put your hands on the table, folks, for hand number 7. Okay, does everybody have their hands on the table for 7? Let's see, the dealer on this hand is south. So what does south do on this hand to begin with? Pass. Do they have 13 points? No. What does west do on this hand? Very good, very good. Notice they have 16 points. They have 3 of the 4 suits stopped, and they have a balanced hand. If you look at that handout that I gave you again, the definition of a balanced hand is 3 3-card suits, a 4-card suit, or a 5-card suit, 2 3-card suits, and a doubleton. This hand qualifies for a 1 no trump opening bid. Now, remember a few minutes ago I said that when your partner opens a no trump, if you have 7 points or less, you do what? Pass. However, this is a however one. And the reason why Audrey Grant wants you to understand this is because there are some hands where you're very weak and there's a preference to play in a suit contract rather than 1 no trump. What I want you to do is look at the east hand. If you play a no trump, isn't the east hand totally worthless? Totally, and no trump. The East hand is totally worthless. Because once the ace, king of spades are dislodged, how are you going to get to those other 4 spades? You have no way to get to that dummy. So therefore, in bridge, we call this a worthless dummy. However, I hope nobody's pointing at their spouse, okay. So when you have a hand like East does, you know this hand is going to play poorly in no trump unless your partner happens to have the ace, king, and little spade, which is unlikely. So East, whenever your partner opens a no trump and you have a hand like East, even though you have 0 to 7 points, 95% of the time when you have 0 to 7 points, you're going to pass. Because 15 to 17 plus 0 to 7, I just want to write this in the board as, so when you have 15 to 17 plus, and you have 0 to 7 here, so between both hands, you have somewhere between 15 and 24 points. Does everybody agree with me? Right? If your partner has 0, then you have 15. If your partner has 7 and you have 17, you could have as much as 24. That is why 95% of the time in bridge, when your partner bids a no trump, you always what? Pass. Because you know you don't have enough points for what? Game. That's where that game comes in. However, when you have a hand like East does, you know you don't have game, but do you have a preference on where you want to play this hand? Doesn't partner have at least 2 spades to open a no trump?
Yes.
So the rule of thumb is whenever you have a bad hand, 0 to 7, 0 to 7, and you have 5 or more hearts or spades, 5, because hearts and spades are the major suits. So whenever you have 5 hearts or 5 spades or more, and 0 to 7 points, you want to take a preference to bid that major rather than pass what? 1 no trump. Because you know the hand will play better in a suit contract than it will in what? No trump. So sometimes in bridge it's better to play at the 2 level in a major suit, hearts or spades, because it'll play better than 1 no trump. You may not always make your bid, but you'll go down a lot less than you would in 1 no trump, because your hand is what? Is not useful. It's not useful in no trump. So on the example that you see in the table, East should bid 2 spades. What does 2 spades show? 2 spades, folks, is what we call in bridge a shutout bid. You'll learn later on in bridge as you play more things like Jacoby and all that, but this is a beginning bridge class, and we're just teaching the very basics here. Whenever the bidding goes 1 no trump, or it goes 2 hearts or 2 spades, and you're not playing any conventions, that's his partner, I have a preference to play 2 hearts or 2 spades rather than you play what? 1 no trump. My hand is bad, bad, bad. And the 1 no trump bid has to 100% pass. They cannot bid again. That we can call bridge, we call that a shutout bid. I have a weak hand, and I'd rather play 2 hearts or 2 spades than you play 1 no trump. And let's look at the hands. If you were playing 1 no trump by West, how many winners do you have in no trump? I see 2 hearts and 2 spades. Does everybody agree with me? And that's it. You're going to be in 1 no trump going down how many? 3. You're going to lose 4 club tricks. You're going to lose 2 spades is 6. You're going to lose at least 2 diamonds. And if they lead a heart to begin with, if they happen to lead a heart to begin with, you go down at least 3. You're going to go down at least 2 or 3 or maybe 3. The point that I'm making is that you can see you have no prayer in 1 no trump. Now let's see how it plays in 2 spades. How many spade losers do you have? 2. How many spade winners do you have? 4. You're going to lose 2 of the 6. Does everybody agree with me? You're only missing the ace king. Does everybody agree that you have at least 4 spade winners of those 6? And don't you have 2 heart winners and 2 diamond winners? What's 4 plus 2 plus 2? Does everybody see that 2 spades makes 2 and 1 no trump goes down at least 2 or 3? Do you see how playing in a suit contract is far superior than playing 1 no trump? So 95% of the time when your partner opens a no trump and you have 0 to 7, you're going to pass. Unless you have a hand like this, when you have 5 hearts or 5 spades and a very bad hand, you take a preference to play a suit contract than rather your partner play 1 no trump. This is an exception, but these hands come up a lot. That's why Audrey Grant wants you to understand that. Does everybody see how 2 spades will play better than 1 no trump on this hand? Can everybody see that? Okay. Not for this lesson. You asked an excellent question, but we don't want to get too advanced for this. You'll learn it when you have 6 clubs or 6 diamonds. You'll learn that later on in intermediate bridge, not beginning bridge. Okay? You asked a very good question, but I got to limit the questions so we're not over people's heads in this class. I got to be very, remember, this is a class where people are learning to play bridge, and I want to keep it very simple. Okay, now let's look at the south hand. If each bids 2 spades, it's going to go pass, pass, pass. Okay? Now, folks, when you guys play this hand, you're going to be playing 2 spades. What should south lead against 2 spades? Why are they leading the Queen of Hearts? Anybody want to tell me?
Sequence.
Top of a sequence. Does everybody see why you lead the Queen of Hearts with the south hand? Does everybody understand top of a sequence? Okay. So you lead the Queen of Hearts. So now everybody, East is playing the hand in 2 spades. I bet you, East, you never thought you'd be playing this hand in 2 spades with only what? 3 points. You see, there is hope for you even when you only have 3 points. So East, you're playing the hand in 2 spades. South, you're on lead with the Queen of Hearts. Go ahead and pick up your hands and play the hand. Okay, so let's talk about this last hand here. Again, when you play a bridge hand, you want to count how many winners you have. And we said, we know we have the ace king of diamonds and the ace king of hearts is 4. And we know we have at least 4 trump winners because our trumps are solid except for what? The ace king. So once you can count 8 winners, what's the first thing you always do? Always do. Always pull trumps. So how many trumps do you have between you and the dummy? You have 8. How many are you missing? 5. So let's say they lead the Queen of Hearts. You win the ace. You play a spade to any, they're all the same. Queen through 7 are all the same. If you want to show off and play the 7 that it forces out a high honor, fine. Okay? So once, let's say they lead another heart. Play another spade. The bottom line is if the spades are 3-2, make sure you pull the last spade. You're missing 5, they both follow. You're missing how many? 3. You play another spade, they both follow. You're missing how many? 1. At the first opportunity you have, lead that spade. So once you lead the spade and all the spades are gone, you now have at least 8 winners. If you don't pull the spades, here's what could happen. Folks, suits are not kind sometimes. What if the diamonds broke 5-1? You say, I'll just cash my winners. You cash ace king of hearts, you cash ace king of diamonds. Oops, they trump your king of diamonds. And you say, I don't know if anybody that play bridge reads the World Herald about unlucky Louis, but he always makes a mistake and he blames he's just bad luck. Well, sometimes it's not bad luck. If you play the ace king of diamonds, and let's say the diamonds broke 5-1, and they trump your diamond. Now you can't make 2 spades anymore, and you lose what? 6. You lose 6 tricks, and you go down 1. So when you can count 8 winners, the first thing you do is always what? Pull trumps. Pull trumps. And in this example, I think one person had 4 diamonds, Jack 9, 8, 5, and the other one had Queen 10. But what if the 10 of diamonds was over the other person's hand? and one hand had the stiff queen of diamonds or the stiff 10. Now when you play the ace king of diamonds, they trump, and you say, oh, I am unlucky. No, you're not unlucky. You had 8 winners, and you found a way to go ahead, and now you only have 7 winners. Okay? I want to emphasize that. Okay, we went through all this. Okay, I want to give you one more hand. Go ahead and take your cards out and put them face first.
So even though I said 3 no trump, you play it.
Okay, folks, let's go over this hand real quick. And by the way, the second part of that quiz. We're going to go at the very end. So let's talk about this hand real quick so you can play it. So the dealer, it says, is West. So West would bid first. West would bid first, and they would pass. North only has 10 points, so what would they do? Pass. East only has 6 points. What would they do? So sometimes the bidding could go pass, pass, pass. Now you come to South. How many points does South have? Do they have a balanced hand? What would South open the bidding with? 1 no trump. Does everybody understand why you bid a no trump with the South hand? Now it goes past. Look at the North hand. How many points do they have? What's 10 plus 15 to 17? 25 to 27. Do they have enough points for game? What would they bid? They would bid 3 no trump, which is game. Enough points for game. So and then it would go pass, pass, pass. 3 passes in a row and the bidding. So the opening leader, whoever bids no trump first, is the person that plays the hand. Okay? Whoever bids, and since South bid no trump first, they're playing the hand. That means West is on lead. What would West lead against 3 no trump? What's the Queen of Hearts? Top of a sequence. Does everybody understand now what top of a sequence is? Okay? The Queen of Hearts promises the Jack. Queen of Hearts promises the Jack. So they lead the Queen of Hearts. Let's count your winners, North, South. Okay? Let's start with the spade suit. How many spade winners do they have? 3. There's 3 in each hand, so the most they can have is 3. I agree. How many heart winners do they have between both hands? 2. That's 3 and 2 is 5. How many diamond winners do they have? 1. Isn't the ace king?
2.
It's 2. That's how many? 7. How many club winners do they have? Is 8. Oops, we're short a trick. Okay, this is a good. So I want you to follow me here. Let's put this hand on the board here. Okay, we're going to put both hands on the board real quick. This is a good lesson hand. My diamonds aren't good today, but that's okay. Can anybody tell me if you can quickly read to me what the South hand is in spades?
South has got the king, 10 and 4.
Okay, what does he have in hearts?
7, 2.
What does he have in diamonds?
Ace, king, 5, 2.
Okay, and clubs.
Ace, 8,
Okay, what does the North hand have in spades?
ace, queen, 9.
And hearts,
Ace, 6, 3.
diamonds,
7, 6, 4, 3.
and in clubs.
9, 6, and 2.
So we have 8 winners. We counted 8. 3, 2, 2, 1 is 8. So does everybody agree that we're short 1 trick? Okay. I'm going to teach you how to play a bridge hand. Okay? So the one thing, you're playing 3 no trump. Is there a trump suit in 3 no trump? No. So here's the biggest mistake people that are learning to play the game of bridge will make. Very normal. They'll cash their 8 tricks and say, well, I got my 8 winners. Now let's go ahead and see if I can maybe get a 9th winner somewhere. That's not how bridge is played. And you're going to go down every single time you play a bridge hand. You will never make a contract. That's not how bridge is played. The goal for the defense is to try to get 5 tricks before you can get what? 9. The goal for the defense is they want to establish their long suit before you can get what? 9 winners. So the opening lead, for example, is a heart. So let's say you win the king of hearts. Aren't you still short a trick? Then you say, what is my best possibility to maybe get a 9th trick? What's your best suit in both hands? What suit is the best suit between both hands to possibly get an extra trick? Diamonds. I agree. How many diamonds are you missing? Folks, how many diamonds are you missing? How many do you have between both hands? 8. Watch. This is how you make contracts that you think you can't make. You don't play any more hearts. You don't play any more spades. And for sure, you're not going to cash the 8s of clubs. You're wide open in clubs. How many stoppers do you have in clubs? 1. You never play the suits that you're vulnerable in. So you win the first heart. You play the ace of diamonds. They both follow. You play the king of diamonds. They both follow. How many diamonds are missing? 1. Does everybody agree with me so far? So now you give them their diamond. How many winners do you have now? I count 9. Because your long diamond, nobody has any more diamonds except for you and the dummy. So now you get +1. And how many tricks do you have in diamonds? You've developed an extra trick by setting up an extra diamond for you. Again, there's 13 cards in every suit, right? So if you have 8 of them, that means you're only missing what? 5 diamonds. Does everybody agree with me? You're only missing 5 diamonds if you have 8 between you and the dummy. Don't you and the dummy have 8 diamonds between you? You can look at the hands on the table. They're right there in front of you. So when you play the ace, king of diamonds, and they both follow, that means you're missing 1. You're missing 5. They both follow to the ace. Now you're missing 3. You played the king. They both followed. Now you're missing 1. Well, you play a diamond, and they take their last diamond trick, but now you have an extra diamond, and that is your 9th winner. And that's how a bridge hand is played. So, because now you can take 9 winners, and you still have the ace of clubs, you still have 3 spades to take, and you have a heart to take, and now you take all your winners that you were entitled to begin with, but it's the order of which you take your tricks that will determine if you make the contract or not. So when you don't have 9 winners, you go ahead and look at a suit that may give you an extra trick, and the diamond suit gave you the best opportunity to develop what? An extra trick. And once you do that, because remember, we only counted 8 winners, right? We only counted 8, but we were able to find a way to develop a 9th winner, and you do that before you take all your tricks. Because in no trump, the strategy is for the defense to try to set up their suits and take 5 tricks and set you before you can take 9. So it's like each side is trying to go ahead and try to, the defense is trying to set you, and you as declarer have to find a way to take 9 tricks before they can take what? 5. Does everybody see how I played this hand and how I develop an extra diamond trick for their 9th winner?
But the diamond trick, that 3rd trick, they took it.
Yes.
But then, so the only way you can get back is to play.
Well, don't you have the ace of spades and the ace of hearts to get back? And do you need to get back? Don't you have a diamond in each hand left? You don't need to go. You have both the dummy and you have the last diamonds. They're both good. Okay? So does everybody see how I developed the 9th trick? Everybody understand that? I want to make sure everybody understands that, because I'm trying to teach you on how a bridge hand is played. I'm probably emphasizing this more than what the lesson does, but I want to make sure you understand. Yes?
That's under the assumption that they have 3 and 2.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Look, like I mentioned earlier, I think I mentioned this early, we don't worry about suits breaking 5-0 or 4-1 or 4-0 or 5-0. You play the mathematical percentages in bridge that the diamond suit's going to break 3-2. If they break 4-1, even Houdini can't make this hand. He's not even around, okay? I tell that to everybody in bridge. You don't worry about going down. If you're going to go down in a bridge hand and you can't help it, don't worry about it. I've gone down thousands of times on hands. Sometimes I can't help it, and sometimes I make a mistake. But the bottom line is you want to give yourself a chance to make the contract and not worry about bad suit splits. You don't want to worry about bad suit splits. If the hand can be made, you want to give yourself the best opportunity to do what? To make the hand. But you're right. If the hand broke 4-1, you probably wouldn't make it. Okay? All right. Go ahead and let's talk about the... so South, you're playing this hand, and West, you're on lead. Go ahead and play the hand.
From their highest suits.
Unless you have top of a sequence.
I had the top of it.
Then keep on playing that keep on playing that sequence.
The top of it?
Yeah. If you have queen, yeah. If you have the 10-9, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. You want to continue playing hearts. So now your partner knows that you have the 10 of hearts, and if she ever gets in, she can go ahead and continue leading hearts. Or if you get in, your hearts are good. How many? What was the contract? What was the contract? 3 no trump. Did you make it? Did you play like I told you to play ace king of diamonds? I just gave that example.
I know.
That's why. But you see, if you don't do that, remember I said don't cash your winners. Don't cash your winners if you don't have 9 tricks. Don't cash them. So ask yourself, how do I get 9? Diamonds was your best opportunity. Once you play ace king of diamonds and a diamond, then you have a 9th trick. Then after you get in again, then you can cash all your winners. Looks like you cashed all your winners to start with, so you had no chance to make the contract. Remember, you want to develop your 9th winner. Don't if like the ace of clubs is the last thing you want to play, because once you play the ace of clubs, now you're wide open in clubs. Okay, folks, I have a bunch of announcements to make. So how many people were in 3 no trump making 3? Raise your hand. How many people went down in 3 no trump? How many people didn't prematurely cashed all their winners and realized they had no chance to make it? Remember I told you, don't cash your winners unless you have 9 winners. And remember I showed you on the board we only had 8? How many people cashed the ace king of diamonds and gave up a diamond, and then when they got in, they cashed the extra diamond for their 9th winner? Do you understand that you should have cashed your ace king of diamonds first and given them a diamond trick, and that would have given you your 9th trick in diamonds? Then you can go ahead and cash your 3 spades and your club and your heart. Ma'am? Yeah, you probably didn't hear what I just said. What I said was, after you give them their diamond trick, ace king and a diamond, then you can cash your 3 spades, your club, and your heart winner. Don't cash prematurely your winners, because that's how you go down. In no trump, you want to set up a 9th trick if you don't have it. You didn't have 9 winners, therefore you should never cash all your winners unless you can count to 9 to begin with. Okay? So we had 2 tables that went down, the rest made it. Okay, now, I have a couple now. I want to go, this is going to be lightning fast, and then I have 2 more announcements. I'm going to ask questions, just blurt it out. What level must you bid to achieve game in a major suit? 4. What level must you bid to achieve game in a minor suit? 5. What level do you bid for game in no trump? 3. What are the minor suits? Okay. What are the major suits? If I bid 6 diamonds, how many tricks must I take of the available 13 tricks? 12. If I bid 6, I got to take 6 plus 6. I must take 12 out of 13 tricks. What is the point range for an opening bid of 1 no trump? 15 to 17. What are length points? You add 1 point for each card that are 5 or longer in a suit. So if I have 7 spades, the 5th, 6th, and 7th spades, I add an extra point. That's 3 points. Those are length points. What is a void? How many points is a void worth if you have a fit? 5. How many points is a singleton worth if you have a fit? 3. In order to open the bidding, how many points do I have to have at a minimum? How many? 13. In order to open the bidding at the 1 level in a suit, I have to have at least how many points? 13. Okay. That's just a quick review of the things we covered. This Friday, again from 9 to 11, free here. Anybody that wants to go over this can come here Friday, and they'll have some mentors to help you review everything we've had. Plus, the information earlier, you have Brian's email and email address, and you have his phone number for the link to today's lesson. Okay? Also, if anybody hasn't given their email address or phone number, please see Ted at the end of the class and give that to him. Also, there were some people that ordered books. I believe we have Judy Havinga. Is she here? Judy, I have your book. And who else? Let's see. I got Yvonne. I got Cheryl. Bill Treadway's not here. Okay. So, and I have, by the way, 2 extra books. If anybody wants a book, I'll be more than happy. I only have 2 extra. So come see me afterwards. I don't think, I'll have to see if I have enough. But come see me afterwards. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's it. Listen, folks, you've been a great class. I'm really proud of you today because you really did good. Folks, please be very patient with yourselves. Be very patient. I can tell you when I remember I learned to play bridge, and today it's so scientific and easy to learn, you're going to forget. That's normal. In fact, when you play bridge and start understanding the game, you're going to make tons of mistakes, but you're going to learn from them. It's a fascinating game. Be patient with yourselves. It's a fun game to learn, and I'm just happy to go ahead and help you learn this fascinating game. Anyway, thank you, and you guys all have a great week, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Okay? You're welcome. Oh, you're welcome.